In this video, I'm going to show you how to conduct a paired means t-test using JASP. This is also known as a repeated measures t-test or a dependent t-test. In this data set, we have 3 columns. The first column is the student ID number. The second column is their pulse rate in beats per minute while taking a quiz. And the last column is their pulse rate in beats per minute while listening to a lecture. We want to know if their pulse rates tend to be higher on average when taking the quiz versus when sitting in lecture. To conduct a paired means t-test, we'll go to t-tests, paired samples t-test, and then we'll have to enter in our pair of variables. So we're looking at quiz pulse and lecture pulse together. These should show up in the same row. If we look over at the default output, we can see that we have quiz minus lecture. I wanted to know if pulse rates were higher during the quiz, which means that quiz minus lecture would be greater than 0. In other words, this is a right-tailed test. The default is two-tailed, but I'll select right-tailed, and that will change the p-value in our output. We have our t-test statistic with degrees of freedom and p-value. We compare this p-value to our alpha level. At a standard 0.05 alpha level, our p-value is greater than alpha, so we fail to reject the null hypothesis. There is not evidence that the average pulse rate is higher during the quiz compared to during the lecture. In addition to the default output, you probably also want to select location parameter to get the mean difference and confidence interval to get the 95% confidence interval for the mean difference. You'll notice that for a one-tailed test, you'll just have one of the bounds. So we're 95% confident that quiz minus lecture is between negative 0.340 and positive infinity. I would also select effect size to get Cohen's d and descriptives to get the sample size, mean, standard deviation, and standard error for each group.